Welcome back to Simply Green Radio here on News Radio 1180 WHAM. Simply Green Radio brought to you by Simply Green Energy and Mr. Rooter Plumbing. MySimplyGreenEnergy.com, MySimplyGreenEnergy.com. In studio with Maurice, Aubrey, Mo, Pete, Maurice, True Story Pete. Also in studio with Jim Salmon, our home repair expert, and our guest tonight, Tom Piekunka with Piekunka Systems Incorporated. He is an engineer who specializes in geothermal products. And our time is short, gentlemen. And I know, Mo, that you wanted to get to a couple more things with Tom before we run out of time.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, it's a little tough for sharing a microphone tonight, so I wasn't able
to
chime in every time I wanted to. But I don't want to, sound too redundant. But I wanted to get back a little bit and talk about the ponds. And is there a minimum depth requirement on a pond when you're putting a ground loop in the pond?
Yeah, yes, there is. You should have about 8 feet of water,
9 feet of water over the top of your coils, and the deeper your pond is, the better off you are. The pond should freeze over in the wintertime, so you don't want an aerator in your pond because the ice acts as a insulating blanket. And the deeper the pond, the better off you are. Probably a typical 2,000 square foot house will require about a half-acre pond.
In the overall scheme of things, in percentages, do more people do an in-the-ground or a well-type installation versus a pond or some kind of waterway?
Jim, most residences use a horizontal loop if they have the land. If they don't have the land, then they'll use a vertical system. If they have a pond on the property, then it's most economical to use that pond or that body of water.
From an installation standpoint.
From an installation standpoint.
Now, there's one other question before Brendan gets me again. The whole cost factor when it comes to installing something like this, what is the difference between a closed loop and an open loop?
Well, an open loop is, like I mentioned on that Seneca Lake, where they're actually pulling water to their heat pump, and that's an open system. Where a closed loop system is where you're running pipes and fluid through that pipe, so there's no contact of that water coming in with the ground. It's enclosed in the pipe.
Right. The closed loop's a lot more efficient, isn't it?
Well, actually, Pete, the open system is more efficient.
The open system.
Yeah, because you have a direct exchange with the water. The drawback to an open system is the particulate in the water.
Okay. So you have to filter it and that sort of thing?
Right. You want good filtered water. You want to make sure that it's not hard or iron or sulfur in it. And the heat exchanger in the heat pump will be copper nickel as opposed to copper.
Tom Piekunka with Piekunka Systems Incorporated. We are running out of time here. We're going to have about a minute or two left. Mo, anything that you want to say to Tom as we close it out here, or anything that you can say to our listeners? Again, I know they can go obviously to mysimplygreenenergy.com, but as we wind down, we do have about 2 minutes here. So
I was just going to say, absolutely, feel free to get on our website, mysimplygreenenergy.com. Any of your questions that you might have, we can certainly answer them throughout the week, or our phone number. I don't think we've ever really given that one out.
Let me do it. 298-1111. 298-1111.
There you go. Thank you. But, Tom, it's been great having you on. I think Jim might have had something to...
Go ahead, real quick, Jim, if you want.
Actually, it's gone. Sorry. I apologize. I got 50 things in my head.
The one thing you don't want to forget are the financial incentives that are out there right now. NYSERDA is offering upwards of 30% tax credits, and it's on, I believe, on material, labor, the whole total cost of the thing, about 30% off. There's lower cost financing available. There's a lot of government help right now, and that's for a short period of time. That's not there indefinitely. So these are the kinds of things that can save you a lot of money right now.
Right. That 30% federal tax credit is on until in 2016.
Yep.
So there's a good incentive.
Wow.
Remember the car example?
Yeah. That's right, Pete. Yeah. We'll have to go back to one of our previous shows to talk about that. Simply Green Radio brought to you by Simply Green Energy and Mr. Rooter Plumbing. MySimplyGreenEnergy.com. MySimplyGreenEnergy.com. A big thank you to Maurice Aubrey Mo, the project manager at Simply Green Energy, who specializes in renewable energy. Pete Maurice, True Story Pete, the project manager for renewable energy at Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Also, Jim Salmon, our home repair expert. I can't believe he was as short-winded as he was tonight.
I miss Brenna.
I'm learning.
I miss
Brenna.
I do too. He was a professor.
I miss Brenna.
Had his professor cap on tonight, learning more about geothermal products. So We encourage you to listen next week. We'll have another guest in here next week for Simply Green Radio. Again, Simply Green Radio brought to you by Simply Green Energy and Mr. Ruhr Plumbing here on News Radio 1180 WHAM.